Line this morning, Guns N' Roses knocking on heaven's door. Solo foi mafu fonga le nia so tofi. Ia le ngalo foi le solo mafu fonga cha tu fa sesi foi. Ia male jamai cha ila le le cha si foi o sui alo le tudu. Le la alo tu foi ia ile Miss Samoa Pageant mo le nei tu sanga lua filo fa. I'd like to say a big good morning and talo for lava. Welcome, yeah, jamai cha Suluafi Brianna Fruean, Miss Pacific Climate Warriors here with us today. Good morning.
Good morning, Taiwan Wia.
It's good to have you here on radio.
Yeah, it's great to be here with you, Sefa. Thanks for having me.
Because we put out a post on social media asking the people who they want on the radio, and you got the most likes and the most people wanted you, Brianna. They want to know the story.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm so honored.
But Brianna, before we do push on with our program, tell us where you're from, your village, a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, nu'u o Falelima, mai savai, matua mua I Upolu. But I grew up here around Apia, so I went to St. Mary Savalalo.
Yeah.
Then I was at Viala Beach School, and then at Robert Louis, and then I did my foundation year at NUS, where I know some of you, some of the Eyespy radio team. And then I'm working currently in New Zealand, but making tracks to come back home.
That's very, very good. And you're also, you're very busy with climate change, being a climate change warrior. You're very passionate about it. How has that journey been so far? Because you traveled overseas for it.
Yeah, I've been traveling a lot for climate work, specifically in the policy and international relations space, with the UN and with the big climate summits. It's been a journey. I've learned so much from that space. It's important. It's important for our young people and our Samoan people to be represented at those tables. But I also think it's important for our young people and our own people to come back home and talk to our people. You know?
And it's a topic for that not many people talk about it, especially the young people. But one of the questions we asked the people to share us their questions they wanted to ask you. One of the questions, Brianna, how can you use the Miss Samoa platform to influence inclusive of climate change? Back to school. Climate change in schools curriculum?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think for me, I believe that climate change should actually be put in the Samoan curriculum and not in just purely science or social science. Because at the core of the climate crisis is the crisis of the va. Right? Samoans, we believe there's a va between human to human, but there's a va between us and the land and the ocean. So climate change in the most basic of forms is the broken va between man and nature. Yeah. And so therefore, I also believe that the solution to the climate crisis will be found in our anganu'u. And so that's why I feel like, and I would be honored to work in any way that I can to see how we could include science and social science with climate change, but also include it in our anganu'u classes and our Samoa classes.
Because usually we just talk about us with nature.
Yeah, I mean it's the most one of the most fundamental things about our culture. That's why we drink ava. That's why they put the lama nut in the tatau is to embed us in nature, for us to drink nature. It's intrinsically part of our culture, siapo, when we wrap ourselves in nature. And so, I always encourage young people of Samoa, climate change isn't for pa'alangis, and it's not going to be solved by only pa'alangis. It will be solved by us.
Well, it should be solved by us because the smaller island nations are the ones that getting the real bad end of the stick from the big corporations overseas.
Yeah, exactly that. Yes.
Well, those are just some of the questions. I had to filter out a couple of questions asking about your love life. But, preparations leading up to the Miss Samoa, how are you feeling? Because you have 2 more weeks left.
Yes, I'm feeling good. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful. And my family was telling me oh, you don't have to smile all the time. There's no cameras. I said, I'm not trying to smile. I'm just really happy. I said, who gets to wake up in the morning, faile ulu, faile box, So I'm it's an honor for us 15 girls to get dolled up and get taken around. A bus driver. Go, to our site visits. And so we're really lucky, and I'm really happy, and I'm really grateful.
Well, speaking of that, 15 contestants, it's going to be a very, very difficult pageant for Samoa.
Yeah.
But of course, a lot of the inspiration has come out from Moana and her lead as Miss Samoa. Can we talk a little bit more about that? Tell us who inspires you.
Yeah. So many women have inspired me and who have encouraged me, and not just our Miss Samoas who won, but also our Miss Samoas that were the queens that never were.
Yeah.
There's a lot of girls who've run for Miss Samoa that didn't not get the crown and then stop the work. They continue the work. They also inspire me. And, you bring up Maiuso Moimoana. I have so much love for her. I'm competing myself, and I'm sad that she's leaving. Samoa was so lucky to have her, and she's done so much work, and she's a hard worker. At the heart of it all, she's beautiful, she's talented, all these things, but man, she's a hard worker, and Samoa was really lucky to have her for a year.
Hopefully everybody's having a great start to their Thursday morning. This is the last week of the months, and then 4 more months left of the year.
Then it's going to be Christmas.
Yeah. Don't forget White Sunday, our special day.
Oh, yes.
It's a mighty leli.
Is that you, Sefa?
Yeah, I hope so.
I believe it. Okay.
But yes, I'll lay a file leo try my future my foot the chance por Columbia. Ia le ufanga solo for the chance for Chancharonga. Ia mara chama cha ia Suluafi Brianna Fruean. Miss Climate Warriors Lenate. And of course, one of the questions that was sent in by one of our listeners saying that what inspired you to join the Miss Samoa pageant this year? Was it always in the works, or was it something that you figured, hey, just give it a crack and see how it goes?
No, actually, it was a wish of my late mentor. She was someone, Mapaenga Koriti Tumalu. She really had this vision for a Miss Pacific Climate Warriors. A sash that could travel the Pacific, and each girl would represent a climate story or a climate campaign. And so that was her last wish to me. And this is my last year as well, because I'm 26, and so I thought, if it's not this year, then I can never fulfill my promise. So this really is just me acting on my word to a woman who meant a lot to me.
And on that note, Climate Change Warriors, I was asking you off air about the Facebook page le post for celebrations and putting out awareness about climate change. It is called the 350 Pacific.
Yeah, that's the one.
And it's nice to see that it's not just Samoa, it's basically all around the Pacifica.
Yeah, it's a Pacific-wide group, but there's a lot of Samoans, and not just Samoans from here, but also Samoans from the diaspora. And it's really just a space for young people interested in climate change, and a community for you to come to. So there's also a 350 Samoa, Pacific Climate Warriors Samoa. It's run by Okalani Mariner. So if you want to join, please message me, let me know, and I can connect you with the right people.
Give them a like, give them a follow. They're on social media, 350 Pacific. One of the other serious questions, Salah, for my, with the 15 girls, can you tell us what are some of your strengths that you have going into this in this pageant? Because you have the ability, you can control the room to speak in front of many people.
Yeah, I'm really lucky in that sense where I've had exposure before to public speaking. But that's not negating a lot of the girls that are running as well. They're really good speakers. I feel like my one strength is my family, because my family haven't put pressure on me to win. And I think like I wake up, I'm like, I'm happy to go to Miss Samoa. I'm not thinking, oh my gosh, I have to go back to the pageant. But that's my one strength, I believe, is my family who said, you're still nice. You, and you'll continue the work. And that's the thing, right? Crown or no crown, my work will continue, and I'll continue to try my best to serve Samoa. And at the end of the day, that's God's plan. God has a plan for who will win and who will be the best Miss Samoa. And if it's not me, man, I am going to be that girl's biggest supporter.
That's
and whatever she needs, I'll be there for her.
Well, it's manaya for the pageant because not only you guys are of but of course you're meeting girls on the same path and you make new friends along the way. It becomes a sisterhood.
Absolutely. And because I've been hearing this a lot. It's like, man, if only all 15 girls can win. But there is kind of a way all of us can win is if the 14 of us that don't have the crown, if we come behind our one sister.
Exactly.
Whatever strengths we have, we give it to that one sister. So that at the end of the day, the spirit of all 15 of us stays with that crown.
Very nice. Wow. Yeah. I'm being very inspired this morning. To all the Eyespy workers listening in, my crew, support me when I need the support.
Yes, give him the spirit of the free in the room.
I need breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But of course, the program, earlier we were talking about you guys were at Taumisina. Some of the stories from the much older female leaders that we have in Samoa.
Yes.
It's going to be a full-on program. And for today, you're going to be stopping by a couple of places. Can you mention your schedule for today? How's it looking?
So today we're heading to one of the embassies, the Australian embassy up the hill, and then we'll be here at the Ministry of Women. And so we'll be really learning about some of the Australian aid programs that they do in Samoa, and then we'll go and see the work of the ministry, important work, community, social development work that we do here. Mm.
And also, it's good that you have the topic there because that's one of the big issues. Promoting Samoa. It's so bad that we talk about it every day here at Eyespy Radio. And the water drinking water Samoa.
Yeah.
It's become a real issue. That Observer posted up a story this morning. Can we talk a little bit more about that? In some ways that share your understanding, your knowledge that it's not okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important to keep our environment clean. And the thing is, we know this. Like, as Samoans, we know, if we go to our grandparents' house, most likely they'll tell us to go get the more vow, because we want to keep our mauka clean, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like for us, we just have to feel like we own all of Samoa.
Exactly.
Beautiful Samoa is us. Samoa is Matalasi because of the people. So I just feel like, I encourage more people to feel like the seawall also belongs to you.
Yeah.
The way you would treat your grandma's, front yard garden, please make it be the way you treat the seawall, the way you treat the roads. When you're riding the bus, don't throw out
the rubbish.
Your ice cake.
Yeah.
But remember that at the end of the day, Samoa belongs to Samoans, so we have to take care of it.
That's a very good take on it. Yes. No, climate, Miss Climate Change Warriors, you will be fined.
Yes, and I watched your ad. Very good ad, Sifa. Watch Sifa's ad. It's very good. Good and educational.
Do you know what people don't know about that ad? Like, I was out for a whole week. Because there's a scene where and so somehow one of he took the wrong rubbish, and it's like, and there were like 5 takes. So Samoa, I did it for you. Sacrifice. But my Lord, tu mal pa ia mal na tunu ia fa malo si foi tiu te tau ave molanea so tofi. Malo lava, we're almost there till Friday. And of course, Samoa's going to get even more busy this coming October.
Yes.
You're also involved in that. You'll be coming back. You're going to be putting out a speech.
Yes, I'll be coming back for Chogam, specifically around the People's Forum.
Yeah.
So I'll be back during that time. And I told every ministry I go to, I'm like, how can I help? What can I do? It's hard for Samoa. When we're hosting, we get really busy. So we need all hands on deck. So I'll be here to help.
So what was that for? Is that the People's Forum?
Yeah, the People's Forum, specifically the Women's Forum.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at bringing a focus of the impacts of climate change on women.
Yeah. I'm actually very excited for that. I hope Samoa does well. You know, just gave me a big gathering spill. It gave me for the SIDS, so the Pacific Games.
Yeah.
You always wish for the best for Samoa. Kasi lingi me leanga kupu.
Yeah.
You know, me o me chupu. You cannot stop it, but I'm pretty sure Samoa is gonna do well. Let's hope. How many months we have left? September. Oh, what kasi?
Yeah. But you know what? I feel like it's in our nature to kalima alo. So
Yeah.
I hear from a lot of people, like international people, that the SIDS conference here in 2014
Yeah.
was one of their favorite UN conferences.
Oh, that's
because
nice.
they said they felt welcomed by the people. So I hope that it's that and more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, guys. Yeah, ole whamanatu ele Eyespy Radio le malo le atinu, because you know a lot of the work lo amakanga kapenga mai from the airport. You know, fa ole le luma sides of the road. A lot of
Yeah.
projects voi for nu malalafanga, just like right here at Vaiala, where they put up rubbish bins for
Yeah.
all around the seawall. Their side, it's really nice to see the importance of the preparations, male keeping Samoa clean.
Yeah.
But of course, Brianna, lewo my foot fight kalame. Is there any final words you'd like to put out to everybody who's been helping you, all your supporters, all your sponsors? Of course, our girl Doris there, Brown Girl
Yes,
Woke.
yes.
You've been part of Brown Girl
Yes.
Woke for a long time.
Yeah.
And she's also helping us. She couldn't be in today, but any final words?
Yeah, actually, maybe on the note of Chogam, I could give final words of advice to our young people. You know, Chogam, a lot of important people are going to be here, a lot of donors,
Yeah.
a lot of people who may be able to connect you with opportunities.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to talk to them.
That's
you
right.
know, you never know. Hi, my name is, I'm from here. My Aukalavo is doing this.
Yeah.
We are looking for support.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, that's all you have to say. We are looking for support. Do you think there's any possibility that you could support me in any way?
Yeah.
What do you think you'll be able to offer support for? And because sometimes if you don't ask, you'll never get it.
Yeah.
And so I would say to our young people, my one advice this morning, make use of Chogam.
Yeah.
A lot of good people and hopefully great people are coming to Samoa, and they might just be able to help you with something that you've been wanting to do for a long time.
Oh, that's really good advice. Well, inspiring now. Lela mako e vesili umagate lao mai.
I know.
O kau so isa kama ke ufale bo sa.
Oh my gosh, imagine the government comes to me. Did you tell all the youth to go talk to the dignitaries?
Talk to the king if he needs somebody. But of course, Fafitai to the lava, Miss Pacific Climate Warriors, to my taia Brianna Fruean. Thank you, Brianna. It's always nice talking to you. You're always welcome to come back to Eyespy Radio whenever you're here on island. But all the best with Miss Samoa Pageant.
Thank you so much, Sefa. Thank you, boys, for having me. It's always a pleasure. Talofa Samoa and Fasoifua.
Fast 1 minutes o Tenele Tulaiva. The video will be uploaded onto our social media very, very soon. But manatua foi lewe lunga le tato official vote more. What is it called?
Is it Miss Internet?
Miss Internet, that's right. If you haven't given Brianna a like and follow, make sure you do so now. But all the best with your ngalwenga mafeao for today, Brianna.
Thank you, Sefa.